welcome to Stepping Outside the Frame, Meet the New Generation of Image Makers, presented by the BFA Photography program and the MA Fashion Studies program at Parsons School of Design. My name is Joel Towers. I'm Dean of Parsons, and it is a great pleasure to welcome you tonight. This conversation tonight is part of a conversation called the Nth Degree Series, which is a curated series of events across the New School, featuring thinkers, visionaries, and creators who define the cutting edge. The conversation tonight will explore representation in fashion and in the media, seeking to identify and address the social and systemic issues that generate short-sighted, stereotypical images of marginalized individuals in the media, and introduce a new generation of photographers and image makers who will share their creative journey and impart wisdom when it comes to creating your own lane in the industry.
I have a really keen understanding on if I do things in a certain way, then I can be an inspiration arm or a tool to people. Thinking about, especially like in the last year, I've become so much more aware of how I can make things more accessible on a really much more macro scale than I'd been thinking about it. And so that for me has been one of the most powerful things in terms of representation, is what kind of indelible mark can we all have responsibility in leaving on our industries?
Since being here, I've recognized like the power of images and how image makers kind of have a privilege in a sense of like deciding who's represented. And so I realized that like I could use that privilege to like represent people who aren't normally represented, or like if they are represented, it's usually in like a bad way. So yeah.
TONL is basically a culturally diverse photo stock company. And one of our first projects honestly was with the UIHI, which is a Native American and Alaskan Indian agency out in Seattle. And here we're thinking that Black people have been underrepresented, Asian, Latino, and a Native American organization is literally the first email we get talking about, hey, all we have is images of people on a reservation. Yeah. All we have is images of people that look sick or aren't doing well. So can we partner up, to create images of Native American lawyers, Native American doctors, Native American people just enjoying a slice of pizza?
Well, it can't just be, we have to see ourselves and possibilities of seeing ourselves as lawyers, doctors, janitors, like all types of images. Yeah, and I think that shapes the way people see us in the world. And I think, I'm trying to push for that diversity. And recently I read that, on American fashion magazines, only 22% in 2017 were women of color, and less than 1% were Asian women. So wow. I'm trying to understand how to change that, and I think at the moment I'm working on possibly launching like a media group, and that might come through the form of a magazine or a podcast, but trying to find a platform, and coming back to what we were talking about, if you don't see something out there, like create it yourself and see how you could change that.